Well, now I am just shaking with anger again. So the Supreme Court just this morning declined Biden's appeal in the Texas emergency abortion case. Let me explain what that means to you. And the TLDR, in case you don't want to watch the entire video, is that MAGA Republicans want to control us so badly that they're okay with our losing an organ or being brain dead if it means they don't have to give us an abortion. Texas, as you know, has an entire full ban, with only exceptions for the life of the mother, right? Remember this distinction we've talked about before between the life of the mother and the health of the mother? So in other words, they're okay with the mother having organ failure or brain damage or losing their ability to have children, but they can't have an abortion in that case. They can only have one if they're literally about to meet their maker, like in seconds. So the Biden administration sued and said that there is a federal law that requires that hospitals that receive Medicare money have to provide abortions when the health and the life of the mother are at stake. And Texas, the Republican government in Texas sued. They sued because it made them so upset that the Biden administration was asking for women to be treated in an emergency situation if they were going to lose an organ. How dare they? And so they sued. And the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals sided with the Republican government in Texas. The Biden administration appealed, and the case went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court just now, this morning, said, we don't want to hear that. We're fine. Just go on as you are. Meaning that the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, one of the most conservative courts in the country, their decision stands. And this means that women who are about to lose an organ because they're in an emergency health situation and the only thing that would save that organ is an abortion cannot have it. They cannot have abortion care to save their health, only their life. And a doctor has to decide the distinction, and they'll go to jail if they choose the wrong way. The Supreme Court justices who made this decision were appointed by Donald Trump, who very deliberately appointed them because he knew that they would do exactly this.
So he who, when he was president, hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did just as he intended, and there are now 20 states with Trump abortion bans, including bans that make no exception for rape or incest, which we just discussed, which means that you're telling a survivor of a crime of a violation to their body they don't have a right to make a decision about what happens to their body next, which is immoral?
Yes, indeed. They are telling them all of that. And they are also telling them now in Texas that if you go to an emergency room, don't expect to be cared for if you have committed the crime of getting sick while pregnant, because the Supreme Court, Donald Trump, MAGA Republicans, they don't care about your health. There is one person who does, and her name is Kamala Harris. As for these guys, sorry, but unless you're literally about to die, they just don't care.